You know that feeling when you order a new refrigerator water filter because the ads promise crystal clear ice and pure drinking water, only to find the taste still a little off and the installation a nightmare? It's a classic buyer frustration. The product looks perfect on the listing, but once it's in your kitchen, it just doesn't live up to the hype. I've been there, and I've also heard the same story from plenty of friends who swear they're just getting a filter and end up with a secondhand feeling that they've thrown money down the drain. That's why I'm doing this deep dive, so you can avoid that mistake before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start by looking at the category itself. Refrigerator water and ice filters sit at the intersection of convenience and health. On one hand, you want a filter that slides right into the dispenser housing without a wrench, and on the other, you want confidence that the water you're drinking and the ice you're serving to guests isn't bringing any unwanted chemicals, chlorine taste, or those invisible microplastic particles that have been making headlines. The market is flooded with generic cartridges that claim up to 99% contaminant removal, but the fine print often reveals they only target chlorine taste and a handful of heavy metals. Many of those low-cost options also use a one-size-fits-all design that can be a loose fit in a Whirlpool fridge, leading to leaks or reduced flow. Enter the everydrop by Whirlpool Ice and Water Refrigerator Filter, Model EDR1 RXD1. This is the official filter that Whirlpool engineers designed specifically for their refrigerators with ice makers and water dispensers. The first thing that caught my eye in the spec sheet was the certification claim. It's certified to reduce 70 potentially harmful contaminants, including microplastics. That's not just marketing fluff. It means the filter has been tested against a fairly comprehensive list of substances, from lead and chlorine to emerging contaminants like tiny plastic fragments that have been found in tap water worldwide. For a family that fills pitchers every morning, that level of assurance can translate into a genuine peace of mind. The core technology is another practical highlight. Every drop uses a renewable coconut shell-based activated carbon core, combined with what Whirlpool calls a triple filtration system. Coconut shell carbon is known for its high porosity, which gives it a larger surface area to trap particles and chemicals. In plain terms, this means the filter can pull out odors and tastes more effectively than a standard charcoal block, while also being a more sustainable choice than petroleum-derived carbon. If you're someone who's been sensitive to the metallic aftertaste that sometimes lingers after a filter change, you'll likely notice the difference right away when you pour a glass of water or fill a pitcher. Installation is where a lot of filters trip up, especially if you're not a DIY enthusiast. The everydrop design is a push-in system that clicks securely into place. There's no need for a screwdriver, and the alignment guides on the housing make it almost impossible to install it backwards. I've watched a handful of people on YouTube try to wedge a generic filter into a Whirlpool fridge and end up with a drip pan under the door. The push-in mechanism on this cartridge eliminates that guesswork. The unmistakably correct fit is reinforced by a small ridge that snaps when the filter is fully seated, so you get immediate visual confirmation that it's locked in. Now let's talk about who actually benefits from these strengths. If you have a Whirlpool refrigerator with an integrated ice maker, which is the case for most of the 2020-2024 models on the market, and you rely on the dispenser for daily hydration, this filter is a solid match. It's especially worth considering for households with children, elderly members, or anyone who's conscious about microplastic ingestion. The reduction of 99% of microplastics, as the manufacturer highlights, isn't just a number. It's a tangible safeguard for long-term health that many generic filters simply don't address. On the flip side, there are clear scenarios where this product might not be the best investment. If you own a non-Whirlpool refrigerator, the precise fit won't line up, meaning you'd have to look for an adapter or, more likely, a different brand altogether. Also, if you're only after a basic chlorine taste removal and you're on a tight budget, there are cheaper third-party filters that can handle that single function. The everydrop cartridge is priced as a single pack, and while the cost reflects the advanced filtration media and certification, buying in bulk would bring the price per unit down, something you won't get if you stick with a single purchase. So, if you're planning to replace the filter only once a year, you might feel the pinch a bit more than a bulk shopper would. In terms of practical weaknesses, the most noticeable one is the lack of an electronic indicator that tells you when the filter's life is over. Some newer refrigerator models have a built-in filter change alert.